Chuck Karstensen Course in Miracles, number 85, and been a little bit of time since my last Course in Miracles about the power of decision. And this one doesn't necessarily go 100% right in line with that, but you'll see some relation to it soon. So the Holy Spirit's mission is really the salvation of all God's children. But within that, the Holy Spirit's mission is to remove every trace of doubt and guilt in us. And I'm going to take from some of my notes over the last few days of study to talk a little bit about guilt, because if we think back to the power of decision of changing your mind, we do make the decision to have doubt and guilt. And since it's so ingrained in us, we need the Holy Spirit's mission to help us remove that, because I think I put a longer note that the Holy Spirit's mission is to remove all doubt and every trace of guilt that his dear children has laid upon himself, because we have the decision. We made that decision to lay guilt upon ourselves. Now, here's some notes to help you, and I'm sharing the notes partially because I'm not perfect at this. I'm not 100% like looking at everybody as guiltless or not laying guilt upon myself, but partially this is part of the learning, as I mentioned many times, of teaching it. First thing on guilt. Guilt remains the only thing that hides us from the Father. So guilt is a separation. And when we keep guilt, it does block the light. You see light behind me. I'm sitting strategically with the light behind me. But when we have guilt, you can block the light. See what I'm doing there? For those watching the video. So when we condemn a brother, that's what the Course in Miracles calls, like all God's sons, brothers. You are saying, I who was guilty choose to remain so. So when we go around condemning somebody else, saying, this person did this to me, this thing happened here, this person, you don't know the thoughts I have about this person. We then are using the power of decision to choose to remain guilty ourselves when we condemn somebody else, because we are placing the guilt that we have, taking it there, but it stays here because it blocks the light for each of us. All right. And guilt makes you blind for a while. And you see, if you see one spot of guilt within you, you will not see light. And we just go around with that doubt, with that anxiety, with that depression, many people do, that keeps them in this little state of frustration. And behind that frustration is the guilt of, I'm not doing enough. Maybe I should do more. And the worldly way is to set this all up to keep us in guilt. So it blocks the light most of the time. Even when we're trying to fight through the light, to see the light, to have that taste of salvation, it normally gets blocked or derailed or sidetracked very easily, as many of us have experienced. So a couple other notes I'd like to share with you on guilt. Let's see, which would make... So basically, you want to give no reality to guilt. See no reason for it. See no reason. If you could just wipe it away, use the power of decision to wipe guilt away, boom, the light has come then. So, a couple more notes. And this maybe will help you a little bit. You do not have to know that heaven is yours to make it so. It is so. It's already available. We talk about kingdom of heaven. Many churches do in their sermons. Some people talk about, our preachers or pastors or priests talk about, when we die, we go to heaven. Well, that is, I'm sure, very true that when we die, we go to heaven. But that's your only option for heaven because you've went around being guilty and making everybody else guilty all your life, that you have to die to experience heaven. The Holy Spirit, why I'm teaching this, why I'm working on learning this and sharing this occasionally, and maybe sharing this more in the future, is that we can enter the kingdom of heaven now by, walking alongside with Christ through the Holy Spirit to give us that help with that power of decision to choose to remove any trace of doubt. And we need help because on our own, we're like, I can't do this. This person screwed me over. This person's annoying me, or I've done so many things wrong, so I got to feel guilty. And many people have their story. So that's why we need the helper to come along to help us to wipe that free, enter the kingdom of heaven living now, which is available. So we don't have to wait to die to experience. In fact, that would be the last way to want to experience. You'd want to experience it more now, the peace, the love, the joy, the healing of kingdom living compared to what the ego set you up for, which is failure and death, which is the doubt and the guilt. So, hope this helps. For those who listen, receive the peace of the Lord. For those who receive that peace of the Lord, go around and help remove any trace of doubt from them, however way you could share your story to start removing that doubt and guilt to bring salvation a little bit quicker, and certainly for the end of their time here. It'd be much better to find and experience heaven, not just down the road after you've grievingly struggled through life. It'd be better to do it now and every day as much as you can. Have a blessed weekend.